221B Baker Street is a very, very famous address, so it's quite a thrill when you sort of step onto that set for the first time and think, right, this is his home in the 21st century.
Well, this could be very nice.
It was interesting for everybody doing the interior of 221B Baker Street because, you know, we're not into gas lamps, as I've said to you. This is contemporary, this is modern day. But at the same time, you need for the Sherlock Holmes aficionados not to just lose it totally. And also, Sherlock, be he in the olden days or contemporary, he's still that same eccentric character, and he wouldn't live in something that was, you know, too suburban or too modern.
So this is
well, obviously I can straighten things up.
It was really sort of quite a difficult thing to get 221B exactly right. I mean, there's quite often you can go too far down the road of it just being too much of a mess, and you think, oh, it's like every single item they've ever owned is now stacked for you to see on every surface. That's too much. It has to be a flat that two young fellas believably would live in. The moment you bring it up to date, it sort of becomes half the familiar Baker Street and half men behaving badly, because that's what it is. It is these two fellas living in a flat and putting dreadful things in the fridge.
A severed head?
Just tea for me, thanks.
No, there's a head in the fridge.
Yes?
A bloody head.
Where else was I supposed to put it? You don't mind, do you?
We really love the scenes that we filmed in the Baker Street studio. I love the design of it, and I love the coziness of it. It looks beautiful, and you instantly feel like it's a place with history. You feel like you're because it's been so well done, it's been so well dressed, so well designed, that it's like you are going into a flat that's been there for 150 years. It's really good.
It's one of those curious things when you're basing something on existing stories and a very familiar world to people. You do have to sort of create, as it were, a Bible of your version. We wanted to have things like the jackknife on the mantelpiece, which transfixes unopened correspondence. And the curious thing happened on the first day of shooting. We were dressing various things in, and I spotted this picture just there where it is now. And in the original stories, Dr. Watson has an unframed picture of a man called Henry Ward Beecher. This is not Henry Ward Beecher, but it's a complete coincidence. The props people had just dressed in an unframed picture, and I said, "Oh, leave that. That's like a little accidental reference, you know." And obviously, through there in the kitchen, which Sherlock has just completely converted into his laboratory, we've got a lot of microscope equipment and test tubes and stuff like that. It would be no accident to open the margarine tub and find a severed finger in there. His experiments kind of creep out into the rest of everybody's life. And I think it's a quite funny thing, the idea that they are flatmates and they're supposed to be, you know, two units, but Sherlock's interests and obsessions just sort of spread out like a mould through the house.
Sherlock, the mess you've made.